My name is Emma. I'm 33 years old, and I work at a hospital as a nurse. My role is to help those who are unwell. I put in long hours every day, working during the day and occasionally at night. I truly love my job because it allows me to make a difference in people's lives. Until last year, I was alone. I had no boyfriend, no close friends, and I lived by myself. My work consumed most of my time, leaving me exhausted at the end of the day. Often, I would visit my mother, who lives in a small village. She is elderly, so I made it a point to help her as much as I could. Life was quiet and simple. Then one day, everything changed. A new doctor joined our hospital. His name is James. James is 2 years younger than me, 31, and he's incredibly attractive. He's tall, with dark hair, and striking blue eyes. He smiles constantly, and all the nurses adore him because he's so friendly and compassionate. At first, I assumed James wouldn't notice me. I'm not the thinnest, and I'm just an average woman. I don't wear fancy clothes, and my hair isn't particularly long or stunning. I didn't think he would be interested in someone like me. But then, James began talking to me. He was always so kind, asking how I was doing and greeting me with a smile every day. I was taken aback. Never had I imagined someone like James would be interested in me. One day, James offered to drive me home. I agreed, and he took me in his sleek car. We chatted the entire ride, talking about work, our lives, and our families. I felt an overwhelming sense of happiness just being with him. He was easy to talk to. After that, James often drove me home. Sometimes he'd bring me coffee or tea at work, and we'd sit together in the cafeteria during lunch, chatting about everything and anything. I started to like him more with every passing day, and found myself eagerly anticipating our conversations. Then, one weekend, James invited me to the movies. We both had a day off, so I said yes. After the film, we went for a walk and talked for hours. I was overjoyed. I thought maybe James liked me as much as I liked him. But a few days later, he surprised me with something unexpected. He told me, "Emma, I need to be honest with you. I'm married." I was shocked. I had no idea he had a wife. He never spoke about her, and I never saw him wear a wedding ring. James explained that he'd been married for 5 years to a woman named Laura. They didn't have children, and he wasn't happy in his marriage. He said they didn't share many interests and spend little time together. He confessed that he enjoyed spending time with me because I made him feel happy. He said I was easy to talk to and that he felt comfortable around me. Didn't know what to do. I liked James, but I didn't want to create any problems. I began questioning why he was interested in me if he was already married. His wife, I imagined, must be stunning. I couldn't understand why he would want to spend time with someone like me. I thought about it endlessly, feeling confused. Should I continue seeing him or stop? I didn't want to hurt anyone, but I enjoyed our time together. A few days later, something happened. I was at a large supermarket in the city, buying groceries. As I walked through the aisles, I heard a familiar voice. It was James talking to someone. He didn't see me, but I saw him, with a woman I assumed was his wife. Lauda was beautiful, tall, elegant, and like a model. She wore expensive clothes and smiled often. They laughed together, looking so happy. I felt a wave of sadness. I quickly left the supermarket, not wanting them to see me. At home, I couldn't stop thinking about what I had just witnessed. Why did James spend time with me if he had such a stunning wife? Why choose me? I began questioning my situation. I didn't want to be the other woman in his life, and I knew I needed to figure out what was best for me. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about James, about how kind he had been, how easy it was to be around him. But I also thought about his wife, so perfect and beautiful. Why would James choose me over her? The next day I went to work feeling tired and heavy-hearted. I didn't want to face James, but I knew I needed to have a conversation with him. When I saw him, he smiled at me like everything was fine, but I couldn't smile back. I needed to know what was really going on. "James, we need to talk," I said. He looked at me, puzzled. "What's wrong, Emma?" he asked. "I saw you at the supermarket with your wife," I said. "You looked so happy. I don't understand why you're spending time with me if you're happy with her." James looked down, his expression sad. "I'm not happy, Emma," he admitted. "Laura and I don't have the same connection that you and I have. With you, I can be myself. You make me feel alive." I didn't know how to respond. I cared about James, but I didn't want to be the cause of someone's broken marriage. I told him I needed space to think. Over the next few days, I did just that. I spoke with my best friend Kate and shared everything with her. Kate is always honest with me. She said, "Emma, you deserve someone who can be with you completely. Don't settle for less." I knew she was right. I had to focus on my own happiness and figure out what I truly wanted. A week later, James called me. He wanted to meet and talk. I was nervous, but knew I had to be honest with him. We met at a park, and I told him how I felt. "James, I care about you, but I can't be in this situation," I said. "You need to decide what you really want. If you're not happy with Laura, you should talk to her. But I can't be the other woman." James looked at me with sadness in his eyes, but nodded. "I care about you, Emma," he said. "I'll think about everything. I just want you to be happy." We said goodbye, and I walked home, feeling a mix of sadness and strength. I knew I had made the right decision, but it wasn't easy. Life is full of tough choices, and sometimes we have to choose what's best for ourselves. Volcano Grill, if you enjoyed the story, please like, subscribe, and share.